I believe that digital transformation is not only about technology. I think technology is just an enabler. All across the world, leaders are looking for the talent with the right skill. Will your business exist in the future? Okay, that AI is going to take away the jobs. AI is going to disrupt the way of work.
Today on SpeakUp, we are excited to host a guest from Dubai. He is the Eastern Europe, Middle East and Africa Senior Vice President of Adecco, Mayank Patel. Mayank, welcome.
Thank you so much. My pleasure being here, Sercan.
Very happy to host you here.
My pleasure.
How is the weather in Istanbul compared to Dubai?
It's rainy. It's like Mumbai. It gives me a feeling of Mumbai, except the weather, which is colder. But yeah, I love Istanbul because it's very vibrant, it's chaotic, but it's also a very energetic city.
Yeah, very happy to hear that. Actually, I introduced you a little, but could you please tell us about yourself?
Great. So as I'm based in Dubai. I manage the Adecco business for Eastern Europe, Middle East, Africa, and Turkey. And with the group since 19 years. This is my 19th year. I'm very passionate about technology. So before this role, I used to head the technology business for Adecco for 5 years. Okay, and I believe that technology is something which we like it or we don't like it, we need to adopt. Okay, and I think that's going to define the future for all of us.
Yeah, we have similarities. Actually, I'm passionate about technology as well. And in SpeakUp, we are talking about technology and the perspective of leadership, strategy, and culture. And we often talk about digital transformation. It is the main thing that all the people are talking about when we are talking about technology. But from your perspective, what needs the companies for a better digital transformation? Is it technology, cultural, leadership, or human? Which priority is the best priority from your side?
I think it's a great question. See, digital transformation, I believe today is a flavor of the board, correct? You talk to any company CEO, AI and digital transformation is in the top list. Now, I believe that digital transformation is not only about technology. I think technology is just an enabler, okay? Technology helps, but what is more important is the adoption. And when you talk about adoption, it completely depends on people. For any digital transformation to be successful, I believe that it requires a thorough analysis of the need in the organization, correct? The culture, the setup, the people. So I think if you prioritize, it starts with people and technology comes at end. I believe that it's people, then process, then culture, and then technology. You can have a best of the technology, but if you don't create an ecosystem of a culture of agility, a culture of adaptiveness, I think no technology will work. So I believe that we often see that, buying the best technology is the best solution. I think having the right culture, the right ecosystem is more important rather than only having the best technology.
Yeah, actually culture is so important. Everybody tells so. And you said right people, right culture, and then technology will come. But about the right people part, the people are also, especially when we are talking with C-levels in this channel as well, they are talking about lack of talents. And we don't see such talents in the ground, and we are trying to educate them, but it's not easy to adapt them. What is the main reason of, do you think that there is a lack of talent, or what should leaders do to make it better, maybe, to recover that?
See, I think, I would not say there is a lack of talent. It's a wrong terminology in my world, apologize for that. I believe that what is missing is the lack of skill, correct? Talent is always there. Now, as leaders, we are born, okay, to have ready-made solution, that we want a plug-and-play solution for everything. And that's where the challenge starts, okay? All across the world, leaders are looking for the talent with the right skill, okay? But we forget that any organization or any business or even a small and medium business, even if you are a family business, has grown with a set of people, okay? Those people who understands your culture, those people who understands your organization. Now, are they the wrong people when the technology is shifting? I don't think so. I think what as leaders need to understand is that talent remains as the core. We need to take chances with our own people. We need to develop their capacity for the future. I think a lot of emphasis has to happen on building the skill capability of your talent, okay? Most of the time we don't invest on upskilling our own people and go to the market to find. Now, market is small. Imagine in Istanbul, if 200 companies are looking for ready-made talent, okay, there is a talent war. And that's why you see in this sector that the price points are expensive, there is a talent scarcity. The reality is that we are not building the capacity of skill. Okay? And I believe that also the most important part is that we have lived an industrial era, then a technological era. What we need to change is that we need to stop defining the roles around people. I think what we need to start defining is that people are unique. The way they want to work is unique. The world of work is completely shifting. They want a complete hybrid work, offshore work, remote work. How do we adapt ourselves from a skill perspective to the talent and revolve our strategy? I think then we will see that we are getting more talent which is ready for the future.
About developing this skill, do you think that AI helps us or the opposite?
I think, see, AI today is a scary word. Let's understand this,
Yes.
correct? 9 out of 10 people we meet, and at least being in our industry, is the scariest part, because everybody whom I meet says that, will your business exist in the future, okay? That AI is going to take away the jobs, AI is going to disrupt the way of work. I believe that, see, AI is, again, today it is AI. Maybe 5 years down the line, it will be a new terminology which we are talking, correct? Look at 2 years before, nobody knew what was AI, okay? AI is very fast paced. What AI does is, it is facilitating the change. It's improving the efficiency of people, correct? So AI can help for sure, but in order for AI to help, there are 2 more skills which we need to develop within the mindset of people. One is the agility, okay? That we are agile to learn new things. And second is unlearn what we have learned over a period of years, okay? And that's the most difficult part.
Yeah, really a learning mindset. Unlearn what we have learned till that moment.
See, again, I would say learning mindset is good. Okay? We all want to learn new things. But if I give my example, I've been working in a certain setup in a certain organization from 19 years. Sometimes you feel I know everything. Okay? Now, it's extremely difficult for an individual to unlearn what I have learned for 19 years to learn something which is coming for future.
And how do you manage it? How do you do that for yourself?
I believe that it's not about a choice I need to make whether I should do it or not. I believe that in order to be relevant, okay, we need to do it. Okay, when you see that your existence depends on the skill, you start adapting to it. I'm not saying that I have done perfectly. I try as much as I can, and I would say I encourage every individual or every leader to not hold on to this. Pardon me, it's not about ego, but I think at leadership we have ego. No, I know everything. I don't need to learn. Okay, that has to die. Okay, if leadership has to evolve, we need to learn from junior people. I believe today, in any organization, you have young Gen Zs who know better than us. Okay, at least my son can make a better PPT than me. So I think it's a change era where learning cannot be defined in a classroom. Learning is happening every day.
I may ask some Turkish questions too. Which food do you like most? Turkish food.
Salads. I'm vegetarian. So.
Oh, okay. No kebabs then. I like your comment a lot. Actually, I will ask one of our C-level guests here, definitely, I promise you, that will ask, what are you going to unlearn what you have learned till that moment? Actually, it's amazing because, yeah, C-levels, we are always talking about the human or the team that they are talking or they are managing, but we are not talking about the leadership skills, how they need to transform themselves. Of course, they need to learn different things, different technologies maybe, but unlearning things is a different perspective. Really, thank you for sharing this. Okay, let's come to that digital transformation again. Some of the projects are really failed. And the main reason are most of the time human transformation. For human transformation, adapting themselves. Generally, we talk about this, but what should the people need to do by themselves to transform, to adapt themselves to a new era or be agile, as you mentioned?
So I think you mentioned a very good point that a lot of digital transformation projects fail. Okay, and the reason they fail is not because they were not good project. I think sometimes we forget as leaders that, if I need to, start on a journey on a digital transformation in an organization, okay, am I ready for it? Okay, that's the first part. And when I say I'm ready is not only about financial. People invest €1 billion or €500 million on digital transformation. But you need to first bind the people who are going to use it. Okay, what is in for somebody who is working at a ground level or at a middle level in your organization? What does this journey mean for him? Correct. Till the time you are not buying the consensus of the entire organization, why this is important, most of the time you will see that digital transformation fails because it is seen as a board-driven decision, okay, and not coming from the field. So we are a sales organization, I can tell you. Any decision which helps any individual to do better, okay, has more adoption. Okay? So I believe that it's about people, but it's not that people don't want to change. Everybody wants to change. There are two elements why people are little away from change. One is the fear, okay, because we all are afraid. This is a human mindset that, if too much of technology come, I will become irrelevant, okay. And second is that we buy or we create a roadmap of digital transformation, which is far from the reality of an organization, okay. So it has two pillars of transformation. I think as you want to digitalize your operations or your company, you also need to evolve your people capacity, okay. The imbalance between those destroys the thing, okay. We keep the same people without same upgrading the skill, and we keep on infusing a lot of technology products, which the guy doesn't know how to use it, okay. I can tell you, I met a great friend who said that, they have come up with a solution in IT which actually helps the organization to use the technology they have invested. And I said, where does this thought come from? Because every company has bought a lot of technology, but they are struggling for people to use it.
Use it, and they are not used, by the way. Several, they have stocks, even they are using a lot of softwares. They don't know how to use it because they don't have that team to really use for their business. It's good to have new technologies, but it's good to, most of the part is the most important part is the good for the core business. If it's not really helping your core business to develop, then you don't need that technology.
And as you also mentioned, one is that it should facilitate your core business, and second, and that's also linked to the AI disruption we are talking. This is my firm belief that end of the day we are not AI, correct? We are humans. We like certain kind of emotional interface. We like certain kind of human interface, okay? When you try to do any transformation which completely eliminates the human part of it, those transformation doesn't see the end of the light, okay? Whenever you are doing transformation, you need to keep in mind that, a human needs to talk to human. Today in recruitment business, you have a CV which is designed by an AI, and an interview is taken by AI, okay? So now two AIs are talking and you'll end up with a wrong solution, okay? So in some part, you need to have human.
Yeah, but even the interviews are being done by AI right now, right? It has started in some companies.
Yes, but okay, I would love to, because you meet a lot of CEOs and CIOs, okay? I want to really meet a CEO who has hired a leader only by an AI interview.
It's not possible.
It's
a
not.
leader, not possible.
Exactly. So the point here is that, can AI help? Yes, it can help you screen, it can have cognitive analysis, it can have a lot of data which you want. But end of the day, we have an inherent DNA that we like to have that emotional quotient when we are hiring people, correct? See, the hiring of future is whether the person will fit my culture, okay? I don't think so that you can have an AI tool to define that the person will fit your culture, okay? Because culture is very unique to an individual. Second, I would say that, the leaders need to understand that the more technology will come in, okay, there is more of silos been created, isolation been created. So we require a high level of emotional intelligence to understand that sometimes people want to talk, people want to understand, and people want to be felt heard, because I can tell you, there are some advanced countries, without naming them, where technology is at the best, okay? But those are the countries where the depression rate and the suicide rate are the highest, okay? So the most of the developing markets, why? Because they have a high level of emotional connect. They are doing better than the developed markets.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, actually, I got the point well that fear of technology is normal for human. And we are so afraid of AI as well. People think that AI is going to get our jobs, and then we will be really very bad position, or they are going to even finish our humanity. I mean, really, it's not easy to digest for humans. But really, as a reality, right now, AI is reshaping the workforce as well. And especially for the beginner roles, AI is doing that operational things. Do you think that it's a risk for the new graduates? It's going to have no jobs because of this, or they need to, again, adapt themselves to new era?
So I think it's a great question, and I'm not let's say, an economist to predict anything, because the truth of life is that nobody can predict what is going to happen, or everything what individuals are saying are assumptions. Okay.
Yes.
Now we need to take two steps back. Okay. Yes, AI is disrupting. AI is disrupting jobs which are non-technical in nature, like your customer service, like back office, like finance, where automation can happen faster. Okay.
Yes.
But if you read a lot of report, I think Adecco has some reports which says that the number of jobs which will be diminished and the number of jobs which will be created, sheerly the number of jobs will be created by AI more than which will be replaced. Correct? What is more required is that the entire education system requires a reform. Okay? The issue is our education system is still of the old style, and the world is changing. Okay? Right from the school, people need to start encouraging, innovation, right? Thinking, digital thinking, etc., rather than the same 4-year courses which are not helping us anywhere. So jobs will be there. The form of jobs will change. So I believe that, yes, there is a high level of stress in young graduates because, today the world is all about digital, correct? TikToks, Instagram, Instagram, my personal feeling is 50% is deepfake, correct? You see what is not the reality. Now they see a lot and they create perception of what is not a reality. I think they should invest that time in skilling themselves, and it's a responsibility of three people, I would say: corporates, public-private partnerships, and also the government. Okay, where we need to completely redefine how we skill people for the future. If we do that, I think, and I'm fully convinced that there'll be a lot of opportunities in the
Yes,
future.
new job opportunities, new roles, names, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, very last question to you, because as I said, you are managing a big region, Eastern Europe countries, Middle East and Africa. These are all different cultures, and you are from Mumbai, as you said, and you are living in Dubai. For your leadership skills part, do you have different styles for different cultures, or how do you manage such a different country set? And how do you make them to really run for your goals? Is it easy, or how do you manage it?
So it's not easy, but I'll tell you that culture is different. Okay, each of the market, I would say Middle East has a very different culture versus, let's say, Eastern Europe. But that's a culture part of it. Okay, what is unique, and that's where I feel that my job is little easy, is that as leaders we need to focus on what is the common denominator within people. Correct? And I have seen with working with, as you rightly mentioned, with different geographies, different people, is that there are three common things which every individual wants. Okay, culturally it could be different, but the three things which is that: one is a need for appreciation. Okay, a need for growth, and a need for being successful. Okay, I think this is a common theme across any individual. Okay, I can tell you, even if you are from Istanbul or you are from, let's say, Warsaw, every human wants to be successful. Okay, you cannot find somebody who says I don't want to be successful. The way they do it could be different. So as leaders, we need to understand that we need to have a very high level of emotional intelligence. Okay, or we need to hear people. We need to understand that if the objective of the organization and objective of individuals is same, because organizations want to be successful, people want to be successful. Okay, what is different is the way you do it. Okay, I think the day you start connecting these two dots of both parties to be successful in a journey where both parties sees the growth, I think in any part of the world you can do miracles.
Yeah, I think emotional intelligence is the most important part, as you mentioned, as a leader. And all human has the same emotions, and they need to be acknowledged, as you said. They need to be successful. That's why it's very easy for you, I think, to manage like this. But although it's not an easy, I'm sure, such an environment, such a big continent, actually, you are managing. Good luck. Thank you very much for all sharing all this information. And also, it was very inspiring and informative for me. Any last words from your side?
No, first of all, thank you for this opportunity. I would just say that, as a concluding remark, is that we are living in a world, okay, which is highly unpredictable. Okay? I think it's not only AI which are worried about, correct? There is geopolitical, okay, there is natural crisis, there is any moment war can start. Okay, so post-pandemic, if we are living in a world which is highly unpredictable, so let's not worry on what we cannot control. I think nobody today can say how the world will look after 5 years. These are all assumptions, correct? You see, markets fly when all the odds are against them. Okay, so I would suggest, and my concluding remark would be that, as humans, we should start not being away from technology, but make technology as a part of the journey. Okay, the more we adopt it, the more we will see success coming on our way.
I hope we will all do that. Thank you very much again coming, and we are so happy to host you, and you came from Dubai for this channel. Really appreciated what you have said and what you have give the experience that you had to us.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Today's guest was Eastern Europe, Middle East and Africa Senior Vice President of Adecco Group, Mayank Patel. We had an inspiring conversation with him. If you like our channel, please subscribe and make comments.